Hi viewers, welcome to my channel. In this lecture, we will see the overview of Azure Data Factory in Azure Cloud and also its various components. We will discuss what are the components, different components are there in Azure Data Factory. So I'm clicking this Azure Data Factory, and if you want to open Azure Data Factory, we have to click on Launch Studio. Okay. So this is the home page of Azure Data Factory. So you can see this is a home button, and this is author, and this is a monitor, this is manage section, and this is also these are the four options, same four options. Whatever the task we can perform, same task we can perform from these options also. Okay, this is ingest or orchestrate, transform data, configure SSIS. Okay, so we'll discuss one by one. So using author icon, we can create the pipelines. Okay, Azure Data Factory is a cloud ETL tool. Already in previous video we have seen a definition of Azure Data Factory. It's a cloud ETL tool similar to Informatica in legacy data warehousing. Earlier in on-premise, we will use Informatica, right? Informatica talent as a ETL tools, right? In the same way, in Azure Cloud, we have Azure Data Factory to perform ETL, extract, transform, load. Okay. So this is a monitor section. Using this monitor section, we can monitor the existing pipelines. I mean, what are all the pipelines are running? What are the pipelines are failed? Okay. What are the pipelines are success? All these things we can monitor using this monitor section. Okay. So using this dashboard, we can see how many pipe last 24 hours, last 7 days, which pipelines are failed, what is the success rate, what is the failure rate. All these things you can see in a graph, in a as a graph. Okay, and pipeline level runs, you can see here trigger, using trigger automation run, what are the pipelines you have run, that details you can see here. Okay, all these things we can see. Okay, we will see one by one in upcoming sessions. Next, this is a manage section. In manage section, we can see all these things: linked service, runtime, integration runtimes, Microsoft PureView, Git configuration, ARM template. Okay, triggers, global parameters, data flow libraries, credentials, customer managed key. These are all the things we can see here. Okay, latest option Apache Airflow also came. Okay, so one by one we'll see. Let me click on this author button. So first option is pipelines. Why we will use pipelines in Azure Data Factory? Everything will create everything as a pipeline, right? What is the definition of pipeline is? Okay, pipeline is a logical grouping of activities that together perform as a tasks. See whatever. So what we will do in using Azure Data Factory is ETL process. I mean, that means we will load data from different sources. The source might be Oracle or SQL Server or a file system. Okay, like that. In Azure Data Factory will support 100 plus connectors. Okay, using Azure Data Factory, we can read data, we can load data from 100 plus different systems. Okay, so if you want to, this is a pipeline. Okay, and next option is change data capture. Okay, change data capture. This is a new option. The name itself indicates that using this we can capture source, for example, source ETL means source and target, right? If source data is changed, immediately the change data capture will capture the source changes, and it will same changes it will apply to sync also. That we can do using change data capture. Okay, so that we will see later. Next, data set. Okay, what is the definition of data set? Data set is a named view of data, okay, that simply references the data you want to use in your activities as inputs and outputs. See, Azure Data Factory means ETL means what we will do. If one source will be there, okay, let me delete this. For example, one source is there Oracle, you want to load data, okay, from Oracle to some Azure data lake using Azure Data Factory. If you take this is example, what are all the data here? This is a source. What is its component to database? This is a file system. Okay, so data set represents, it points to the data set from which we are copying or taking the data. Okay, for example, in this scenario, Oracle is a source, that is one data set. ADL is a sync data set, like that. Okay, data set is a it points to the data that you want to copy, perform some activities as an input or output. Okay, this is the definition of data set. Okay, next one more component is there, that is linked services. Okay, what is a linked services means? Using linked service we can establish connection between Azure Data Factory and data sets, whatever data you are pointing. Name itself indicates that a linked service. Okay, using this we can link the different, I mean, Azure Data Factory and other sources services. Okay, and next one is a data flows. So in the definition, in the Azure Data Factory definition, one point we have discussed, that is one point we have discussed, that is nothing but using Azure Data Factory we not only create data pipelines, okay, straight, I mean, only straight move, not only straight move, we can also perform transformations, right? We can also perform transformations, like in Azure Data Factory we can perform business logic also. Without coding we can write some small joins, aggregations, some function implementation, SQL kind of, all SQL kind of operations we can apply in Azure Data Factory itself using Azure Data Flows. Okay, data flows, all joins, aggregations, whatever normal ETL transformations will do, all these things we can perform in Azure Data Factory using data flows. Next one is a Power Query. Power Query is a Excel kind of operations. We will not use much here. Okay. So we'll create. If you want to create new pipelines now, this is here you can see three dots. Click this. If you want to create folder in the pipelines, like you can create. For example, I'm creating folder. I want to load data from SAP. So all the related SAP related pipelines I'll create as one folder. Okay, So one more, I will create one more folder. I have data in the Oracle. I have one more source, Oracle database. So related to Oracle pipelines, I am creating one folder. All Oracle pipelines will create here in this. Like that, for a better for better understanding. Okay, we'll divide that our pipelines like these folders. Okay. So inside folders, you can, if you click on this, you can create a subfolder. You can rename that folder, you can delete that folder. So if you want to create pipeline, click on this pipeline like this. So if you see this pipeline, if you click on this, you can see, you can change that properties here. Pipeline name, okay, demo pipeline, pl demo. So what is the purpose of this testing purpose? You can write meaningful information here. Testing purpose, like this. So you can see here, see, PL demo. So this is a canvas where you can write the all activities. What is your business logic? What is your data pipeline business logic? What is your source? What is your target? What you want to do? All the activities you can perform here. So these activities, there are different types of activities. Okay, move, transfer, transform, synapse activity. Okay, data, Azure Data Explorer activities, Azure function activities, batch services, Databricks, data analytics, general, Hadoop activity, iterations, conditions, power query, machine learning. These are all activity categories. So whichever suits for your business logic, your requirement, you can use that. For example, I will use move and transform. Main important one is copy it. You have, if you want to do, if you want to select some activity, you have to drag and drop here. Okay, select here, drag and drop. So copy activity, if you, it will open one form. Every activity open will form. It will have the corresponding options. So name, okay, copy data. I will change to copy from Oracle to ADLS, like this. Okay, some meaningful information. So what is the timeout? We can mention that timeout. Currently it is 12 hours, 0 days, 12 hours. This is mean, this is days, minutes, sorry, days, okay, every day 12 hours. This is correct only. Okay, minutes, seconds. So you can change to 15-20 minutes. So this is the timeout. So maximum amount of it, the option, if you highlight that, it will give the description. Maximum amount of time an activity can run. Default is 12 hours. The minimum is 10 minutes. Okay. So maximum amount is 12 days. So like this, whatever this activity has, this copy activity has source, target. So all these things will, it is asking data set. Now only we have discussed from where, this is the input, this is the output. I mean from where to where you want to copy. So if you want to point out some source, you need to create a data set. What is your data set? It is, you can see here hundreds of connections, hundreds of sources here. Using Azure Data Factory, you can connect to any source. You can transfer or copy data to any source. Okay. So this is a introduction of different type of components we have in Azure Data Factory. If you come here, linked services you can create here. Okay, it will establish the connection between Azure Data Factory and the source and targets. Runtime integrations. Okay, runtime environment is a IR. Okay, integration runtime is the compute infrastructure to provide following data integration capabilities across different network environment. For example, Azure Data Factory is a one framework. You are you are loading data from Oracle. So Oracle is a different framework. I mean, this is different altogether. That is a different source. This is a cloud. So in between, some mediator should be there to copy the data. So that's why we will establish the integration runtimes. So there are different types of integration runtimes. In separate session, we will discuss the main purpose of integration runtime is a so that is infrastructure. That is nothing but a virtual machine with the Windows operating system. Virtual VM with the Windows operating system. So there are many types of virtual machines are there. I mean, 2 nodes, 4 nodes, 8 nodes, 16 nodes like that. So whatever your source data based on that size, you can select that IR server capacity. We will see one example. I will create one virtual machine and we will load that. So this is the integration runtime. Next, Git configuration. Git is all of us we already know, right? Version control system, Git, code repository. For example, if you are a Java developer, Java after developing some code, you will save that to repository, right? Similarly, even it is a even it is not a programming language or some separate UI framework, we can still this Azure Data Factory also we can save to all our pipelines, entire data, everything we can save to Git repository. We can link our that Git configuration everything here in this option. Next one is ARM template. So whatever see so ARM means Azure Resource Manager. Okay. So whatever in the front end, this Azure Data Factory is, I mean, user-friendly tool, right? I mean, without coding, using drag and drops with the click button clicks and all, you can perform, right? You can write logic, right? Whatever you are doing through UI in backend, everything will be captured as a JSON file. Okay, JSON file. Okay, so that is nothing but a ARM template. Whatever your activities, it will save as a JSON format. That will save all activities save as a JSON format. That is nothing but a ARM template. Next, triggers. One, this is a Azure Data Factory, not only a cloud data tool. Using this, we can orchestrate the pipelines. That means we can schedule the pipelines to execute in that particular pipeline at a regular interval, okay, in particular time. For example, I want to load every day in source oracle table. My table will be updated every day morning 7 a.m. So that time only I need to run my pipeline also. So using Azure triggers, we can schedule the pipeline so that it will start execution exactly at 7, okay, or 7:15 or